Hi Tanuj, I just came back to the hostel.
Hey Arnav, welcome back. How was the visit to your uncle's place?
It was indeed wonderful. The talks, home food, and playing with his kids was fun.
That's nice. I'm so happy for you.
Do you know about being a student of BSc Psychology honors? My uncle was quite intrigued to know a lot about mental health and different branches of psychology from me. We had an interesting discussion on how people have realized the unprecedented importance of mental health.
Wow, sounds interesting. Tell me more.
So, we discussed how still being in that new India in the second decade of the 21st century, how in general our society is stigmatizing mental illnesses, and just even the word psycho evokes a negative image of psychopath, and how still in our daily lives many associate the word mental with madness.
That's absolutely true, Arnav. I feel being a student of psychology, it's our first responsibility to make people aware, rethink, and reimagine about the mental health crisis in India.
Yes, Tanuj, and in that conversation with my uncle, we discussed further how the COVID 19 came as an eye opener for the second most populated country in the world. We had taken it for granted. The traumatizing virus changed millions of lives.
No doubt about it, Arnav. As we don't discuss and have general awareness about mental health, I saw news reports where people have committed suicide due to loss of jobs or losing a dear one in family.
Yes, Tanuj, according to the medical journal Lancet Psychiatry, COVID-19 pandemic triggered a 35% rise in anxiety and depression in India. In fact, the Indian Psychiatric Society reported that 20% more people suffered from poor mental health and women exhibited higher levels of psychological stress. In urban poor and the rural migrant workers affected by lockdown showed higher indications of mental health issues.
It is still quite unimaginable now. And I read articles during the last year's World Mental Health Day that we still lack zero point 0.3 psychiatrists per 1 lakh of population against the World Health Organization recommendation of 1 psychiatrist per 1 lakh of population.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's quite upsetting.
So, is even a government doing something related to mental health care or just running in polls to get vote banks? Will there be any change? Is there any hope?
Tanuj, it's not that the government is doing nothing to make mental health care available. Do you know? My uncle shared that as a result of pandemic, in the recent national budget of this year, the government has allocated expenditure to set up a national Tele-Mental Health Programme with 23 centers with mental health professionals like counselor in collaboration with NIMHANS and IIIT Bangalore for 24/7 free telehealth services to the people.
That's nice, but do we allocate enough in our budget for mental health?
Not at all, Tanuj. Developed countries allocate 5 to 18% on mental health care, while India allocates roughly 0.05% as per the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development.
Ah, and I guess mental health is still not part of health insurance.
Yes, that's absolutely true. That's a long struggle and demand by mental health professionals in India. In recent years, insurance programs of the current government like Ayushmann Bharat PM-JAY has coverage for mental disorders with a procedure price of 1,500 rupees. But still, all general health insurances have yet to get mental health coverage.
I see. Why don't we have a law for this? Is there passed like legislation or an act for mental health in India?
Yes, we do have the Mental Health Care Act 2017, passed in the Parliament, has made several provisions to improve access and treatment to mental health care in India. It made amendments to the 1987 Act and converted mental health care as a right. It had also decriminalized suicide pertaining to proof diagnosed severe stress and shall not be punished.
Oh wow! Then what is the status of the act now?
The Act has focused on building robust infrastructure like registering mental health care practitioners and implementing service delivery rules. Although the Act required states to set up state mental health care authorities, which is SMHA, in 9 months of the past Act, only 19 out of 28 states had actually set up. Above all, the stigma attached to mental health is still prevalent among many, and the demand of professionals and quality supply of mental health is still a long challenge.
Yes, this stigma is still prevalent, but educating the masses about the science of therapeutic effectiveness so that they feel the same as they go to any doctor for a general health checkup.
Yes, Tanuj. So, psychoeducation plays an important role here. Also, for mental health literacy, the Ministry of Education has taken initiatives during pandemic like Manodarpan to provide psychosocial support for students, and even organizations like NCRT and CBSE have their own counseling services and educational short videos and workshops, webinars on topics like depression, examination anxiety, internet addiction, substance use disorder, specific learning issues, life skills. So, yes, there are efforts, but still a lot needs to be done for establishing mental health care for all without any shame.
Oh, these are good initiatives. I truly believe, Arnav, India has a bright future in terms of mental health care services, and being the youth of the country, it is a collective responsibility to make our society aware about the total meaning of health is not just physical but also mental well-being.
Yes, Tanuj, fingers crossed. Let us hope for the best.
Thank you, buddy, for telling me all these information. Oh, it's dinner time. Let us go.